Yo, what is good, YouTube? Welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we're going to be ranking the top 10 best small forwards in NBA 2K25 MyTEAM, regardless of price, regardless of tier, all that type of stuff. These are the best of the best. And again, this list is not very attainable, to be totally honest. There's only one, arguably two cards in this list that I would consider actually attainable, which is unfortunate, but it's kind of just the state of the game right now. One of the biggest gripes, probably the biggest gripe in all honesty, that I personally have with the game mode as of right now. But with that being said, we do have a good list here of a lot of top 10, a lot of really good small forward options, and hopefully y'all do enjoy the video. So before we hop into it, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help me push towards the 50,000 subscriber mark on the channel. I upload every single day, multiple videos a day. Would really appreciate it if y'all do subscribe. And at number 10, we've got Chris Webber. Good card, 6'10" with a 7'3" wingspan, very switchable, athletic, high level, versatile small forward, obviously near perfect stats and badges, at least in terms of Hoffs. Patty Mills base, Oscar upper on very quick, Pro 2 fade. Darius Garland dribble style, step escape. Rest of the SIGs aren't amazing. The honest truth is this jumper is a little inconsistent, and I think a lot of people have talked about that. A lot of people have complained about it, and it's a valid criticism. The jumper is inconsistent, really, regardless of whether or not you shoot with button or stick. It can be a bit inconsistent as a shot. So not my favorite aspect, and it's really the one thing that I think knocks him down a peg or two here. He'd probably be about 2 or 3 spots higher on this list if I liked his jumper a little bit more, but to be totally honest, I just don't love it at this point in the year because of how inconsistent it is. That's why I have Michael Beasley above him, although Beasley is obviously not quite as good on paper as Webber is. He's an inch shorter. He doesn't have quite as long of a wingspan. He's not as elite defensively. His stats and badges aren't quite as complete, but his jumper is just as fast and more consistent. He's got Pro 2 fade. Jalen Green dribble style, Kemba escape, Garland behind the back. Isn't spectacular movement. He's got a good escape, solid behind the back. Second best size up after Francis, I'd say, so that's at least useful. And then Jalen Green dribble style isn't great, but he does have a good push cross. So again, he doesn't have Garland like Webber does. He's a little bit smaller than Webber is. He's not as complete badge-wise, and also just because he's not 100 overall, his stats aren't quite as good. But I trust his jumper more, which means I trust him as a shot creator a little more, and overall, I think he's a little better personally. So to me, I got Beasley at the number 9 spot. Number 8 is going to be Jermaine O'Neal, who, if you wanted to put him below Beasley too, I wouldn't be mad at you, to be totally honest. Beasley's jumper is noticeably better than Jermaine's. Jermaine is 6'11" with a 7'3" wingspan, though. He's a even more switchable version of a guy like Chris Webber. Now, he does not have the jumper speed-wise that Webber does by any means, but it's a smooth, easy, solid shot with Pro 2 fade, Garland, Francis, Kemba. So very solid movement there, has everything but the behind the back. He's a very solid card and a very good card, in my opinion. Super good option. I would have him at the number 8 spot on this list. So a pretty solid placement for Jermaine O'Neal. Again, if you wanted to argue Beasley above him because of jumper, I get it. Just for me personally, I'm taking that size. And I think the consistency of Jermaine O'Neal, his jumper is again, it's not bad. It's just not quite as glitchy fast. Moving on to the number 7 spot is when we really start to take a jump up. These next 7 guys are really all unattainable and all extremely, extremely good. It becomes a matter of opinion here, I feel like, for the next 3 or so. In terms of the order you have them, I wouldn't be honestly annoyed if you had Cowens as high as number 5, because Cowens is a dog. All 99 stats, every badge on Hoff, bunch of good legend badges. Scottie Pippen base, City Bay upper on very quick. It's a lefty jumper. It's super smooth, nice and quick. Pro 2 fade. Garland, De'Aaron, Trey. Good SIGs as well with Levine step back. Like, he's a stud. He does everything well. His jumper's nice. He's versatile defensively. He can put the ball on the floor. He's got great shot creation. He's got everything you're looking for at the shooting guard position. Just everybody else on this list also does have that, and that is kind of the problem, is it becomes very nitpicky here. Like for me, I have Blake over Dino Raja mainly because Blake over Dave Cowens. Why did I say Dino Raja? Blake over Dave Cowens because I feel like Blake looks a little bigger on the court. That's really the number 1 reason. Similar to Dave, he's got Garland, Kemba, or Dave had Trey escape instead of Kemba, but those are about the same. He does have Francis size up, which Dave also does not have. Pro 2 fade, good jumper. Honestly, Cowan's jumper might be slightly better, but I think I trust Blake a little bit more as a switchable defender, and honestly, I like having that Francis size up as well. That's a real big plus for me. Again, these guys are as close as they get, though. You could easily flip the 2 of them. Honestly, you could easily flip the 3 of these cards. LeBron James, Blake Griffin, and Dave Cowens. They are pretty much realistically about the same card. 6'9", 7 foot wingspan. They're all 6'9". They're all big, versatile, good player build guys who have now perfect stats. And while Braun doesn't have the legend badge as a base card that you get with Dave Cowens and Blake, he's got an elite jumper with Pro 2 fade, Garland, Francis, Curry, Trey. So again, elite SIGs, elite jumper, elite release. I love Braun's dunk animations. I really like his jumper too. I find it honestly very, very good. Matt Ryan base works really well with Oscar upper. To me, I think I like him the most out of these three. I think it's very close. And again, I think you truly could go any order with these three guys. It's basically a matter of opinion, but I got Braun at number 5. Moving on to the number 4 spot, we got Kevin McHale, who is really just a more affordable version of a guy like Giannis Antetokounmpo, an absolutely elite level big who gives you a ton of positional versatility. I mean, he's not a big though. He's a small forward. That's the thing. He's 6'10", but he's got a 7'11" wingspan. That wingspan is absolutely ridiculous. And he's got, again, 99 stats across the board, bunch of legend badges. I think really the number one reason I have him above Braun, Blake, Cowens is because number one, the length with that wingspan and the size. But number 2, I honestly think his animations are really nice too. His jumper's elite. Colin Sexton uppers is W. Garland, Kemba, Trey. He doesn't have the Francis size up, which a couple of those other guys do. But for me, when you have a 7'11" wingspan, you're 6'10", you have a big player build. I mean, if you match up against somebody who's got the most expensive small forwards in the game, the invincible Giannis, the invincible KG, other tall small forwards that might be coming, a guy like McHale, who's not quite as expensive, sure, he's not cheap as an invincible, but he's one of the more affordable of the elite invincibles, and he absolutely is an elite invincible. I think Kevin McHale at number 4 is a completely reasonable spot, and I honestly, he's a stud. Like, he is the guy I would recommend if you're looking at an expensive small forward but not break the bank. I think McHale's your best bet without paying multiple millions of MT for like the most expensive cards. Giannis is 6'11" with 7'4" wingspan. He is better than McHale still. A little bit more complete movement wise, having that Francis size up. I would say his jumper about the same in terms of speed and consistency and stuff. He's a little bigger, 6'11" with 7'4" wingspan. Doesn't quite have the wingspan, but player build wise is a little bigger. And honestly, Giannis just gets the nastiest animations when it comes to some of the stuff that he is capable of doing versus other small forwards in terms of just how glitchy his animations can be. I think he's a little better than McHale, but I don't think it's a massive gap between the two. But for me, I would take Giannis number 3. I think this is going to be unpopular, but I got Kevin Garnett at number 2. Yes, I don't have Giannis or KG as my best shooting guard or small forward in the game. That might be a surprise to a lot of y'all. KG's 6'11", 7'3" wingspan. Obviously, he's got all 40 legend badges, which is obviously nice, but I don't think it's that big of a difference, to be totally honest. Jumper is really good. Pro 2 fade. Garland, Francis, Curry, Trey, Levine, step back. Standard stuff. Elite animations. Pretty much perfect across the board with a great jumper. I honestly, the number one reason I have him above Giannis is because I think I like his upper. Sexton upper's probably my preferred upper over KCP. I think I prefer KG's jumper slightly. It's kind of a matter of opinion, and at that point I almost just like defer to the legend badges because again, they're about the same size, they do the same thing on the court. Again, it's a matter of opinion between a lot of these guys. The reason that I have Bob Pettit at number 1 is because he's got my favorite jumper in the game. The Patty Mills base, Colin Sexton upper, on very quick, 6'9" with 7'1" wingspan. Yes, he's not as big as the other small forwards, but Garland, Francis, Curry, Trey, Harden step back, Pro 2 fade, very, very good jump shot. Best jumper in the game, bar none in my opinion. It's not even a debate. I think that is the number one thing, especially with the legend shooting badges as well, for me, that makes Bob Pettit my favorite small forward in the game. His jumper is just so unbelievably spectacular. Yes, I get the argument for the size of KG, Giannis, or McHale, but there's just not a better primary ball handler in my team right now than Bob Pettit. For that reason, I have him as the number 1 small forward in the game. But again, this is a matter of opinion. If you disagree with me, that is totally fine. Feel free to let me know in the comment section down below. If you did enjoy the video, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I will be back with more 2K content very, very soon, and I appreciate y'all. Peace.